What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back on this Sunday evening for daily. Apologize for yesterday because we had an issue, so there was no video out yesterday. That was gonna be Julian's stat video. He was gonna look at how we stack up with all the other teams in Serie A this far, but that will drop probably Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. But we're gonna talk about problems ahead of the Milan game, basically, because it's let's say it's game week, Sunday evening, in a couple hours this Monday for over here, so it's game week, and it's a massive week for us. If you wanna finally take some sort of jump, I'm gonna say then yes, um, you need to get there. Need to go to Milan away, and you need to put in a great performance and come away with those 3 points. At one point in time, we're gonna need to do that consistently. But we're gonna get into the Milan stuff obviously during the week. Before we get into this one, like, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification if you are new, and let's go. Okay, so today, Sunday, the issues for the Milan game. I will start off with Fagioli first because um so many people are asking those questions. Why do you not tweet out Fagioli news? But why you do tweet out transfer news? Because it's all bullshit. Like, it's from the same media, but transfer news you can get wrong or right. You know, it is what it is. It's not serious. The betting stuff and all that's going around in Serie A or like in Italian football at this moment in time is serious. You cannot just tweet out things, in my opinion, and then when you know like this is not true, it's not proven, because these are serious allegations. You're talking about some serious stuff. It's not just transfer news. So I'm not gonna do that, because today you had La Stampa saying Fagioli is working with authorities, to get a plea deal. He never bet on his own team, not even Serie A games. It's other type of stuff. And I was like, huh. And then Corriere dello Sport coming out saying this could be massive because he and others were betting on Serie A games, even their own teams. I'm like, that's why I do not tweet out the Fagioli stuff, because you have one part of the media saying one thing and the other one the complete opposite. And this is not about transfer news and all those things. This is serious. Like, you cannot put out that news, in my opinion, when you have, even in the media, a complete divide. One saying okay, it's not that bad, and the other saying the worst case scenario, where you're absolutely screwed if that's true. So that's why I'm not putting out the Fagioli news, because this is serious stuff. Like, it's not just to play around, because that's not going to help anyone. It's not like transfer news. So that's why I'm not doing it. What's unclear at this moment in time is if he can play. Because in the mix of all those things, nobody actually reported, and I could have missed it. I looked it up, and in England, you can play. Ivan Toney played while the investigations were ongoing. So I'm assuming Fagioli is still available at this moment in time, so he could play potentially. Will he play? Will Juve say, yes, we're going to play him? Or are you going to say, you know what, we're just not going to do this now. You stay out of the squad for a bit now until this thing gets resolved, because who knows? Maybe the club is like, we don't know. Like, did you do this? You did that? Like, you can say that, but like, not taking any risks here. So that could be a thing. But that's also a question mark. And heading into the Milan game, that's a concern. That's a head scratcher for Allegri. Is Fagioli available? Can I play him? Whatever. And that's one. That's a Fagioli thing. That's the most serious, weird thing. The second point is Chiesa, because he returned. And it's back to last season, where how many times did we come on and we said, yeah, player X or Y is injured, but tests show no injury. How many times have we come on and we laughed about it, because we were like, what is this? What does this even mean? He's injured, but they cannot find an injury. Like, what does that mean? Same for Chiesa. All tests show no muscle injury, nothing, but he feels pain and he cannot play. What kind of test, like, is Chiesa faking it? He's not faking it, but like, what's going on? Because this is not a one-off. Last season, it happened so many times, and I think this is what Chiesa's gonna be, and it's not his fault. He had that injury. We are gonna miss him for quite a lot of games during each of the following seasons, in my opinion. I wish, like, I hope I'm completely wrong, but as of now, that's the that's the feeling I have, that that he will miss games, like stupid games, based on like niggles or like these things where he's injured, but nobody knows what the injury actually is, and that's a bit worrying, as a team, because you're sitting with a player and you don't actually know what he has, but he's telling you, I cannot play. So Chiesa's a big one, because he will be a massive miss. We need him the way we play or not play. He's a big part of it, because it all stands and falls with him. Other than that, we look extremely flat. We look clueless. There's no threat going forward at all. And Giuntoli spoke on certain things about consistency, winning, and building a playing style that's consistent. I'm not going to discuss that now. But Chiesa is a big part of it, obviously. So he's unclear. Vlahovic, there are early reports saying, yeah, he's going to make it. But when I can hear things like, yeah, he can make it, maybe, probably, I'm like, let's wait. Let's wait and see, because as of now, he returned to group training, not yet this week. So the coming week is the first time he will return to group training. So that's even a question mark. Like, is he going to be fit? Can he play? And again, it's a big miss, because Keane played against Italy, and I didn't watch. And I saw a tweet, and I saw two assists. I'm like, wow, that he must have played well. And I looked up the assists, and you laughed, because those are not assists. Like, there are assists because they count. You cannot say, like, it's factually an assist. He touched it before it went into goal. But like, you cannot say, oh, we're gonna classify that as an assist. That not. I get it, but you need to be absolutely shameful to use that to boost him, and say, oh, but he had 2 assists. Those were not assists. Those were completely miscontrol, bad technical errors that led to a crazy goal, So I've not watched the game, but when I saw that, and people were using it to boost his, performance, I'm like, it wasn't that good. I'm going to assume it wasn't that good, and he hasn't played well ever since he returned. So it is going to be an issue if you're going to miss Vlahovic and Chiesa, obviously. The last one, Danilo, he's most definitely out as of now. A lot of people are panicking. Me, myself, not, because I think Rogani will do perfectly fine if he plays, and he should be doing perfectly fine. He has filled in a lot of the times last season, and I think, like, Rogani is a good player to have for a couple of games, and then it needs to stop, because when he goes on a stretch, you will see his deficiencies. My issue with his long-term contract, is that you shipped him out in the past. I don't like this. You move them out and then you're trying to keep him. I don't like that with any player. Like, I don't like bringing back old players. Same thing. So I'm gonna stay consistent with that. But I don't think Danilo not playing is gonna be a massive hit. I don't watch the games, and I'm like, if Danilo is not there, I'm like, oh my god, how are we gonna survive? I don't have that feeling with Danilo. I have that feeling with Chiesa, because we heavily depend on Chiesa in terms of we actually extremely need him to help us out. I don't have that with Danilo at all. So yes, maybe for some might say it's a big miss. I don't view that as a massive miss. I'm not going into the game, I'm like, we're not gonna win because Danilo is not there. No, I will go into the game, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna win because, you know what, Chiesa's not there. If Chiesa is there and Rugani plays, we should be good in terms of it will be better than having Danilo and not Chiesa. So, but those are the concerns heading into, for me, a must-win game. You cannot go into that game like we did 2 years ago or last season, or like we did against Atalanta, and you don't even attempt to win. Like, you need to get something out of it. You need to have a good performance. um, because otherwise it's gonna be an extremely long season, you know, and uh, you're gonna, you know, how do you want to say, like, struggle throughout the season because you're gonna need to play those teams. But those are the concerns for Allegri heading into a very important week. Let me know what you think in the comments. Excuse me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back live tomorrow.